and this meeting is for our LJ realtors, and we're gonna go over the what we have as interest rates, what's in the news, what software we are updating to. So it's gonna be a lot of good stuff today to learn. So hopefully you guys can take away some of these things. For any reason you guys want to stop me, if you have any questions, concerns, just speak up, unmute yourself. Okay. If you feel comfortable putting it in the chat box, you're more than welcome to do that. So let's see how the interest rates were as of last week. According to Freddie Mac, they were around 7.18. We have been seeing it for the last 30 days or so that it's been around hovering around 7%. So they are at 7.18 according to Freddie Mac. And according to Mortgage News Daily here, they're at 7.30. Okay. So these are your conventional loans and your FHA. If they're going with FHA, they might have a little bit lower credit score of 6.75. Okay. So for your conventional, 7.30 is your national averages. Your client will get a little bit better rates depending on their credit scores or their criteria, or they might get worse than this depending on their criteria as well. So these are your national averages. As realtors, when you're talking to your clients, if they ask you what are the interest rates these days, you should say they are around 7%. Okay, as realtors, we should know that. So what does that mean actually when it comes to your monthly payment? Every time you see an interest rate increase, your monthly mortgage payment increases, right? So it makes a huge difference when we were seeing 3% interest rates, 4%, 5, and now they're around 7, right? So you would need, let's say husband and wife are making around $120,000 and they have down payment of $60,000. Their monthly debt is around $250. When we're asking for their monthly debt, we're asking for their minimum payments. Doesn't matter what their credit card debt is. We just want to know what's their minimum payment they have to make. So let's say they have a couple of different things going on. Collectively, they're making $250 per month, and they're going with a property that's going to be in Queens here with the more property taxes around $5,000, and their property insurance is going to be $1,500 per year. So with these stats here, making 120 with $60,000 down payment, very monthly debt, 250, with today's interest rate of 730, they can purchase a house for around $600,000. Okay, and this is a very realistic example because a lot of our borrowers are in this field here. Okay, so maximum home price they can purchase is around $600,000, and their main concern is how much their monthly payment is going to be. So with this interest rate, they're looking at around $4,200. Okay, so what does that consist of? That is added from your principal and interest, which is around $3,700, and then your property tax of $400, and your property insurance of $125 per month. So when you add that up, they're looking at around $4,250 per month, and they can qualify to purchase a house that's around $600,000. Okay. So when we say that $600,000, this might be in Queens. If they're looking in now in Nassau County and the tax is going to be higher, let's say it's $10,000, this number will decrease. So when you're showing your properties to your clients and they have a pre-approval letter, just tell them, hey, your property taxes do matter when you're seeing how much you qualify for. The higher the property taxes, the lower you will qualify for that amount. Okay. And some of these clients, when you're speaking to them, they have a down payment of $60,000 and they completely forget about the closing cost. So anytime you have a down payment, you want to make sure you have your closing cost. Your closing cost is around 4% of your purchase price. Okay, around $24,000 in this case. So this person, instead of having $60,000, they better have $84,000 for in order for this transaction to complete. Okay, that's why some of us are going back and forth with the sellers and say, hey, we need a seller's concession because our borrower doesn't have full amounts, right? They have the $60,000, but they forgot about this 4% of closing cost. Who's going to pay for that, right? Eventually, the buyer does have to pay for that. He can get seller's concessions, but you should be educating your clients and telling them, hey, you have your down payment, but you also need your closing cost. So collectively, in this case, you would need around $84,000 compared to 60. Okay. So this is when it comes to affordability. The lower the interest rate, the more they will qualify for. Okay. Next, with these interest rates that we're seeing today is a Fed meeting that's going to be happening, and you should guys should keep your eye on it. It's going to be at 2 o'clock. Yeah, and usually it goes on Bloomberg, CNBC, all the channels, news channels out there, and maybe you can read it on online on Google as well. If the interest rates are increased or not, from the Fed side, they're mainly tracking your inflation rate, right? This is the United States inflation rate. It was down to around 2.9, and then it jumped back up to 2.67 now. Okay, so this is a bad sign for the market. The higher the inflation rate that goes up, then the feds will try to put even more restrictions so the interest rates are staying high. We need to see this go down to 2%, and hopefully it will do that in coming months or next year. Okay. So these are some of the headlines that you saw in the news from being a realtor. That everybody's keeping an eye on the Fed for sure, and they think the USA economy is trending in Fed's direction. They have increased the interest rate from 3 to 7 right now. What we have seen as mortgage rates, right? So they are trying to control the inflation, and that's what their goal is. What will happen today? That most likely the Fed meeting live update says that no interest rate hike is expected in September. They said they will have another one before end of this year. Hopefully it is not today. Okay? If it's not today, that will be a good sign for another 6 weeks that the interest rate should be still floating around 7% instead of going even higher. Okay? And exactly what we just said, that inflation accelerated for second month straight now, right? So we are seeing that went from 2 to now around 3.7. Okay. And again, with the Fed's meeting again, it's going to be today. You guys should just keep an eye on it, and most likely we would not see a hike from their end. And this article talks about exactly that. Okay. And these are the news just for New York here. Inventory for homes for sale across Empire State fell, right? Just as overall, it was down in July. Even, it went down around 28%. Again, what is the number one reason people don't want to sell? Because they're locked in at a low interest rate and just simply wants to make those payments on that mortgage and have that, freed up equity. So this way, at one day when they're selling this house, they have the maximum amount. So simply they don't want to sell right now. If they have to sell, they have to buy another property. And today's interest rates are around 7%. Who would want to go from 3% to 7%? As long as you guys, as realtors, understand that concept, then you would understand that the person who's trying to sell their house will have, second thoughts, and, they would not want to sell it in today's market. Okay. And maybe you guys saw the news for Airbnb now. They are being very, before it was just restrictions in the villages in Nassau County. Now it is affecting your 5 boroughs as well. That, you cannot rent out to Airbnb unless you're going to live with them, which is going to be almost impossible. So with the rent that was going skyrocketing, one of the reasons was Airbnb, because the seller now had two options: either rent out to one person for a year and make their money, or they can rent it out to a family for 3 days, 5 days, and make more money. If the second option is gone now, they're going to be stuck with option number one of just renting it out to a normal person as they were doing before. The rent should be coming down, and we have seen that in many, many articles. So when you're speaking to your clients, and if they say the interest, the rent comes down, yes, the rent should come down because of this new change. Okay. So there's a new lawsuit that's going on with different agencies out there, and a realtor should be up to date with that, right? Or stay up to date with this because it affects you guys. What is happening right now is that there was two major cases, those lawsuit cases from the seller side, saying that the sellers should not pay for buyers agents commission, right? So what their argument is that whenever the seller is paying for it, end of the day they're inflating the rate, right? It's inflating the cost, so that even they're listing it for even higher prices. And the argument that our NAR, our National Association of Realtors, are having is that this model works well and it actually helps the client because the client doesn't have to worry about the down payment, the closing costs. And on top of that, now they have to worry about paying a percentage or two to the buyer's agent. That'll even make the that will make the even situation even worse for the buyer because they have to bring in more funds. So the current model that we have right now has been running for a long, long time, where the sellers are deciding, hey, I'm going to pay 3% commission. 1.5 goes to the listing agent, 1.5 goes to the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agents are not paying, not getting paid from the buyer's side, right? That's normal, but things can change. So just make sure that you guys staying up to date with this, with online articles as well. We'll go over it on next meetings as well, but just keep an eye on it. Remax is one of those big companies or brokerages that actually are in a part of this lawsuit. Okay, Keller Williams is another one, and it's an ongoing thing. And once it's finalized, just know that these are the major arguments, and you guys should decide. On your own opinion, if you were to start asking your buyers now, hey, you have to pay me 1% commission, and because I'm not getting paid from the listing side anymore, there'll be a different type of competition between the buyer's agent. Some of them will say, hey, I'll charge 1%. Some will say, I'll charge 2%. Some will say, I'll charge 3%, depending on their situation, right? So it'll be a completely different ball game once that is implemented. Just heads up, it can happen because it's in the news and there's a lawsuit. Okay. All right, guys. Again, why are the prices are not coming down? If there's no inventory out there, there's the interest rates are so high, but why the prices are not adjusting, right? The home prices surged for eighth consecutive month, setting new records, right? There's a new data that just came out that even though the interest rates are high, there's a low inventory out there, the prices are not coming down. It's just supply and demand. Whoever can afford it, trying to look for a property, whenever they do find it, it's just they can't lowball it. They have to put in the right offer in order for that offer to get accepted, and that's one of the reasons we are seeing this happen. Okay. There has been home buyers are some of them are getting are scared when they're under contract, and we have seen that over 60 thousand different deals in the whole United States fell through in August, just because people were just scared. Hey, maybe it's not the right time to purchase, so I'm going to cancel this or not that. Maybe wait another year or so. So your clients are going through this, right? Because when they see that, hey, their budget was to have a mortgage payment of $3,000, and now they're speaking to a loan officer and they're going through the numbers again, and then it went from 3,000 to $3,800. That $800 per month will be a big effect on them. So you have to understand that people can get scared and will not purchase it right now, and you have to respect that. Just move on to the person who's ready. Hey, you've been renting, you have money, you're gonna purchase in this market, perfectly fine, let's go with it. You want to target those clients. Okay. Let's look at some of the stats here for Nassau County here. That new listings here around were in August were around 1,000. Total listings were around 2,000. So it's not much coming on the market right now. Anything that comes in within about a month or within about 2 months is gone, um, is already sold. And average listing price in Nassau is around 988. Okay, and average selling price is 958. So you're only about $30,000 in difference there. Okay, so again, whenever you're seeing a property on the market, you have to do your research. You have to make sure that you know how to use geodata and you know how to do your comps. And whenever your client is asking, hey, the property is listed for $1 million, how much I shouldn't put in the offer for? If you said 950 because of this, they're gonna go with you. Okay. You don't want to say, hey, it's $1 million property. Let's just put $1 million. It doesn't work like that. You are a realtor. You're going to negotiate for them. So you're going to do the research for them. If you need any help or if you need second opinion about your offer, just send me the details. Say, hey, take a look at this. This is what I'm about to put on an offer for. Does this make sense? Okay. And then you have your supply and demand. Supply, again, is not much, -3%. The demand with high interest rates, some of these borrowers that were on the borderline that they qualify, all of a sudden they don't qualify now, or they don't qualify as much as they were qualifying a few months ago, right? So the demand is lower. Okay. All right, guys. Next topic is going to be your auctions. I love the fact that some of you guys are, getting into the auction side. You guys are actually visiting these auctions and going in person just to, see how what the process is, get the feel of it. Once you start going there, then you're going to start taking your clients there. And we are our loan office assistant here. She's sending you guys new listings from Property Shark on regular basis on WhatsApp, right? And in there you will see your property address, you will see the lien amount, you will see where the auction is happening, what date is happening, where is it happening, right? All the stats that you need. And if your client is ready, right, if they do want to bid on this, you need to have a payable certified check payable to this referee's name here, Charles. Every property will have a different referee name here. Okay. So I just want you guys to start going there. If you haven't never went to this place, just want you to start going there. The next meeting or next auction is going to be on the 22nd in 2 days at 2 p.m. So I really expect that some of you guys to start going there and get the feel of it. Okay. There's another property. There's a possible flip. There's the MLS number. It just came on the market, I believe, last night. And you guys should definitely take a look at this. That is listed for around $400,000. The specs are really good. That the taxes are less than $10,000. It was built in 1964. 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The lot size is not as big as you would imagine in Nassau County. It's still around 4,000 square feet. Looks spacious. So I would definitely show this to your clients, to your investors. If they're going to flip, this should be a good option for them. It's vacant. Okay. So take note of this MLS number, take a look at the property, and see if you have a client that you want to send this to. Okay. You said this property's already sold. Really? That fast? Wow. You see, that's how fast it goes, guys. Right? It came it came on the market yesterday. It's not sold, I'm sure of that, because nothing happens overnight with them. I'm pretty sure it's under contract. It's gonna be gone. But this is what we mean that the where the market is. There's a lot of investors over the years just holding on to the money, and now they just want to invest and flip that, right? Put that money to work. And this is one of those deals. Even if they're purchasing at 430, after all this flip, I'm assuming that they're gonna make at least 60 to 80 thousand dollars out of this flip. So if you guys had it, I love the fact that Navpreet, you were on top of this. You try to contact them and all that good stuff, but you guys got to be even more active. As soon as you see something like this, set up your own alerts for investors. So when you see a property like this, you want to take action right away. Especially if it's vacant, it will be gone in a heartbeat. Okay. Okay. So this next slide is for our Nassau County clients, for mainly for Nassau County because of these taxes, right? We see that his $9,000 tax is listed on MLS, but we want to verify it. We don't want the file to go all the way and then realize that hey, the taxes were $14,000 instead of $9,000, right? MLS makes it really simple. Once you are logged into your status, on the right side here it says one key MLS links. There's a link, it says to verify taxes. Simply click on it, and then you'll see a PDF file. I don't know how often they update this, but when you click on it, you should see the most updated list there, and you see which township and their phone number. Okay, some of them do have a website, but I would just simply call them and say, "Hey, I'm a realtor. I have this property address. Could you please verify what are the taxes for this? Is there any village taxes on this property or not?" Okay, so very simple. It's in your Stratus, under 1 key MLS links. Some of you guys want to confirm different property details and you guys want to go to the county clerk. Simply Google it. Just say Queens County Clerk or Nassau County Clerk, and these screenshots are from there. Uh, you will see their address, you will see their phone number. Don't expect them to pick up their phone call right away, but if you want to go visit them, you can and get the property details from there, right? Some of you guys would question for Nassau County, hey, I see a one family there and I want to convert it into two family. You can go there and ask them what zoning, they can confirm that. Some of you guys are working with the investors or where even there's a church and they want to convert that back to a single family or they want to build another business there. All those questions should be answered from the county clerk. Okay. Another MLS is coming out with a new feature from Rent Spree. It's called Rent Spree, and it's going to be part of your MLS membership. So, what this resolves is your rental side, right? So, you have a client, you want to do a rental application, you can do it from there. You want to find out what's the rent estimate in that area, just by typing in the address, you can do that. Okay, fill out the whole rental application online, and you can screen your tenant as well. Okay, the tenants will pay $20, which is allowed by the government for New York State here. So that $20 will be paid by your tenant, and they do this online. They have e-signature parts there. They have rental insurance there. There's rent payment, but this is going to be all for the landlord. For yourself, you just want to guide your clients and your landlord that hey, once this is all live and everything, hopefully by next week. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that it is called Rent Spree. It's part of your membership, and the top three features is going to be mainly for you as realtors. You can find out the rent estimate, you can send the application, and you can have them sign up to be screened. Okay. All right, guys. Next, guys, we're going to review ljagent.com. All the new agents that's coming in, right? Will even everybody will have access to ljagent.com, but I want to go through few different things on this. I hope everyone can still see the screen here. I'm on ljagent.com. Okay. The homepage does not need any password. Once you're on the homepage here, you simply can browse through this, and we're going to go over a couple of things here. But there's no changes on the homepage when it comes to the password. You would do need a password as a realtor, and if you are a loan officer, you will have a different password for your loan officer. Okay. And then for your office hours, there's no password there either because those are just public information that this is when we are open, this is our address, simple stuff. For the homepage now, right? You have realtor tools and you have loan officer tools. Same thing that you see on the top section here. Prior to this, we had a long list of your all the bookmarks on top here on the top menu, and I just felt like there were like 30 plus links, and it was way too much. We had to organize it, and it took us a couple of took us a while to update this, but we're gonna go over that now. Okay. Some of you guys have questions how we're going to schedule a meeting with myself or with Jazz. Simply click on those links and schedule a meeting. You're going to do the same thing for Jazz. If you have a client, you even if you cannot make it, you want to send your client and meet with Jazz, one of these loan officers. You're going to simply do the same exact thing here. Okay. Now the commission, guys. Everybody that's already joined us there will be no difference in your commission, right? Anybody that has already joined us prior to this meeting, there's no change to your commission. But you guys should know what new changes are coming so this way you're not surprised by it when you guys see this online, right? We're not doing the 100% commission anymore. So the highest a new agent can go is up to 90%. Okay. So whenever they're starting out, a new agent will start off at level one at 80%, and they have to close first five deals under 80%. And then the next five deals will be under 85%. Once they have completed 10 deals total, after the 10th deal, 11 plus, doesn't matter how long they stay with us for, it'll be at 90%. Okay, there will be no difference. There will be no 95. There's no 100. As long as you have closed 10 deals, you are 90% for life with us. Okay, for residential rent, yes, brand new agents. But I want you, like I said, anybody that has joined us previously, 71 agents that we have as of today, there's no change to you guys. The things that we want to make sure, because we are doing this change for the new agents, how could we you guys be rest assured that nothing will change for you guys? That's going to be the new agreement that we have that does not expire. Okay, all the agreements that you have signed up with us, that was for a year, and some of you guys signed it, some of you guys haven't signed it. But now, because of this new change, it's going, because we want all our 71 agents to be at 100% one day. It might take you a year, it might take you 2 years, doesn't matter. We want you because you guys deserved it. You guys been, supporting us from day one, so we're going to support you for life. Okay, that's how we think. But anybody that's joining, it just doesn't make sense that we cannot afford to have that model for rest of these agents. The next 70 people that join, we would want them to be at this level. Okay, so the new agreements that we have here, which has all your previous agreements, as we mentioned, will be part of it. The agreements are much smaller. Before it was 30 some pages, now it's only 5 pages. Made it much clearer for you guys. So every one of you guys, I'm going to set up a meeting with you guys in office. Make sure that we're on the same level. How many deals you have closed, how many referrals you had, how many rentals you have. Once we have done that, we're going to update your agreement and make sure that you guys are set for life. Okay. But anybody that's new, that's joining, they will be guided to this commission level. The rental side, the $100, still the same. On the commercial side, sales or rental, still the same. Okay. Questions or concerns, guys, before we move on? Yeah. So this is the level one. It does not change. Anybody that joined us previously, like yourself, was at 80%. Anybody that's joining us starting today will be at 80%. But the structure changes because you guys have level four of 100%. The new agents that's going to be joining us in the future will not have that. Okay. But the 80% commission is that 80% goes to you. Let's say there was a $10,000 commission, 8,000 goes to you, 2,000 goes to the office. Okay. There are still office leads. If there's a seller's office lead, those are 50-50. Doesn't matter even if you're on level four, 100% previously, or if you're at level three, two, doesn't matter where you at. As long as it's an office lead, it's going to be either 50-50 for seller's lead or 60-40 for your buyer's lead. Okay. And those are optionals. You don't have to accept those leads. That's only if you want to get those leads. You tell us and we give you those leads. Okay. Any other questions on the commission, guys? This is big because that matters to you guys. Okay. Again, training videos and all that is still there. We have a new count for the realtors and loan officers. We have 14 loan officers now. So you'll see that on the homepage. Okay. So the password, when you guys click on realtor tools, I'm going to put in the chat and it's going to be shared in that. So you just type in those 4 digits. I just typed in chat and you're going to hit go. As soon as you hit go now, you're in your realtor tools. Okay. And these are going to be your realtor tools to complete a transaction. And we're going to go through them now. Number one is going to be your KV Core. When you click on it, it will open up a new tab and you simply log into your KV Core. Okay. This is for you to add your clients and set alerts. That's going to be required for all your clients. Second is that when you start showing those properties and you want to send in an offer now, you're going to use transaction desk. We're getting rid of dot loop. We're going back and forth with dot loop to keep a couple of seats with them, but they're giving us really hard time with another year contract and all that. So we pretty much want to, move away from dot loop to transaction desk. On the back end, our our office assistant, she's already taking all the files down in Google Drive. So if you guys need any of the old files, we'll have backups in our system here. You just ask for it and we'll give you those files. Okay. But anybody new that's coming in or any new offer that you have, you're going to use Transaction Desk. And once I go through these links, I'm going to go through a sample file that's going to take us less than 5 minutes and see how we're going to fill out the offer sheet. If you want some forms just to print out for wet signatures, we have that link as well. Okay. If you're going to log into your Stratus, you have your MLS Stratus login in here. Okay. Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Teams, both of the links are there. Next is going to be your calendar. So this calendar is just not for to schedule a meeting with me. It has a lot more. So when you click on it, there's a couple of different things you can do here, right? If you want a team meeting uh, that's going to be hosted by the team leaders, they have that link here. If you want to reserve the tent that we have for one of these parks events that you have, you guys can reserve that tent from here. If you want to reserve the conference room for your clients, you can do that here. If you want to reserve a desk when you start coming in the office, you can do that here. Or you can schedule a meeting with me to talk about your commission or anything like that. Okay. So these are all your links. So just don't think of it as one link. There's a lot going on in here. Then you have a link for your listing agent steps and the buyer's agent steps here. You have your geodata, very important geodata for your comps. So you're going to be using this on daily basis. That link is there, and it will take you directly to your updated property navigator. Sign in now. Okay. If you want to do your comps, you have your RPR comps link here. Okay. These are all the tools for you guys. This is the tools to make you guys better, for tools you guys to use so you look more even more professional. So if you want to know about your transfer tax, you have a person who wants to sell a property, you're going to click on that. And let's say they want to sell it for $800,000. And this is a single 1 to 3 family property. On the right side, you can clearly see that, hey, the seller's transfer tax is going to be 0.4%. And then you have your New York City 1.42. Collectively, you can see 1.825%. And how much tax is it? $14,000. This is going to be coming from the seller side. So if you guys need that link, is up right here. Okay. If you guys want to see more public records for a property, depends on where the property is located. If your property is located in Queens, you would click on this link here, Oasis, or if it's in Nassau, you would click on land record. So you simply click on it and it will take you to that website. You type in an address up here and it will give you all the details that you need for that property. Okay. Same thing for Nassau. When you click on it, you either type in the address or you look up by their section, block, or lot, and you'll get all the details. Okay. Another important one is going to be your verifying village taxes, right? Or to see if the property is in the village or not for Nassau. Simply click on it, type in an address, and it will tell you if it's in a village or not. Okay, another great tool, because it makes a huge deal when a person is going from Queens, moving to Nassau, and they're in the village and they're driving taxis and they cannot park their car there. So every village will have different rules. So you don't want your homeowner, once they move into the new property and they find out these things that they cannot do. So make sure that you verify if the property is in the village or not before you put in your offer. Okay. Another great tool, instead of spending your money on Zillow, I feel like the way the market is, that every one of you guys should be on Opcity. Every one of you guys, even if you're an experienced agent and you have closed, 10 deals, 20 deals, doesn't matter what it is, the way the market is, you want to close more deals this year, you should be on Opcity, right? Opcity will take up to 38% of your commission, but it's still giving you leads and you're going to be closing more deals end of the year for sure, right? Our assistant here, she already sent you guys a link for or invite for Op City. If you guys didn't receive it, you let me know. But all 71 agents should have a link to sign up. Again, there's no harm, there's no monthly charges. So why not be part of a platform where they're just giving you leads? If you convert, then it's a win-win situation. They get paid, you get paid, right? Instead of, yes, Zillow is great, you guys are getting, leads from there, but you're paying from your pocket every month for those. With Opcity, you don't have to. So if you want to have Zillow, great, have Zillow, but just don't neglect this Opcity here. Okay. You want to close more deals, you want to make sure that you're on Opcity. Okay. Next link here is your one key MLS. So this link here, you want to view properties from Brooklyn, you want to view properties from Bronx. You guys are paying for one MLS, right? One key MLS. Right now, your invoices are for LIBOR that you're paying for $551. But in January, one key MLS will send you another invoice for $140 as part of your MLS. So why not use the service as well? When you click on it, it's a regular website. You just type in the address and you will get all the details for that property. Okay, including the listing agent's information here as well. Okay. Next link you have is your e-access. You want to renew your license, you want to check the status of your license, you want to make sure that you have access to this. It's called e-access NY, and you guys, all of you guys have this because you guys signed up with this and got your license. But keeping an eye on it or checking other, one of your other agents information, you can do that as public records. You need attorneys, inspectors, survey, photographer, all the links up here. Okay. You want to know the process for short sale, you want to know scripts, everything is there. You want to pay your MLS fees, the link is there. Some of you guys ask for the continuing education, again, you can take your classes online, you can use the same link here and it will take you to the CE shop. Okay. If you're a new agent, you will go through a checklist from there. If you want to go through the recorded meetings, the links are there. The training video links will be there. And roster, if you want to see rest of our agents, you can simply click on it and view all the agents from here. Okay. So all these links in here should be useful for you, right? There shouldn't be any link that's extra or just there for the heck of it. Every one of them has a reason. The top ones are the most important ones. Okay. So again, I typed in the yes, Clarence, I know you're typing, so I'll wait for you. But just make sure that you guys go through these links and let me know if you guys have any questions on them. Okay. So while I see you typing, I'm gonna go ahead and click on transaction desk. Okay. So once in your transaction desk here, yes, sir. Yeah, no, you're welcome. Yes, that was the whole purpose. So instead of creating Google Chrome account for everyone when they join and all that, we're stopping that. We're simply telling them if you're a brand new agent, you're simply going to go to ljagent.com, click on Realtor. This pin that I put in the chat will change from time to time. We're not going to be changing on a daily basis, but from time to time, we'll change that just for security reasons. And we just want you to have access to this for yourself. So if you're a realtor, everything, let's say you have a client, you should be on this page. Hey, I need this. I'm gonna have link in here, right? Nothing extra, everything that's useful for the realtors. Okay. Okay. Next, guys, I want to go through your transaction desk. So you have a client, you show them a property, they love the property, you want to put in an offer for $600,000 for them. You're simply going to click on transaction desk, you're going to log in. If for some reason it's asking you to log in, you can even access it through MLS Stratus. Once you're logged in into your MLS Stratus here, in your info center, this is when you logged in. Couple of different ways. One is under your one key MLS links, this called Instanet. Okay. Transaction desk and Instanet is the same thing. So Instanet right here, or you can click on resources and Instanet as the first link. Okay. So you have three different ways of going to your forms and for your e-signatures. One is simply clicking on transaction desk here, or going to your MLS, clicking on Instanet from your MLS links, or clicking on your resources and Instanet. Okay. Once you're logged in into that, right, you have your agent dashboard. And here is telling you your transactions. You can create it. Authentic sign, these are your signatures, your email, upload calls. I'm going to keep it very simple and show you guys how we're going to create a transaction and send it for e-signature. Okay. We're going to click on add transaction. Let's use James today. James is the buyer. And let's say Julian here is going to be the realtor, right? That's the name. So this is your file's name, right? Simple. Some of you guys are just putting your client's name is perfectly fine. If you want to follow the rules, use this format: your client's name, the word buyer, and then your name. What is going to be the template? Are they the sellers? Are they the buyers? I'm going to click on buyers. If you want to pull all the data for this listing from MLS, you can do that. Click on import data, put an MLS ID number here, and it will pull all the data from there. If you don't want to do that, it's okay. And then it's asking you add me as a selling's agent and click on create, right? So as soon as you hit next, you're going to see the details. These are your 5 steps here. Your step number 1 is going to be the details. If you leave this blank, it's perfectly fine. You're going to click on next. The second one is going to be your transaction desk, and that's going to be your 2 of 2. Yeah, hold on one second, guys. Alicia, could you tell them to slow down a little bit? Jazz, yeah. All right. Okay. So the next one is your transaction desk here, dates here. Obviously, you're putting in the offer. You have no idea what the dates are. You're going to leave it at that. Then you're going to click on next, and this is your contact. This is the most important feature here. You want to add the people who's going to be signing here, right? So anybody, we need to add James. Let's say James' wife is going to be signing, we need to add her as well. So anybody that's going to be signing these offer sheets and your disclosure, you want to make sure you add them at this stage. If you forget to add their wife or their brother or sister, you still would have another option later on. But if you have the information, simply add it just by clicking on add, and then add create new transaction contact. So is asking what type of person this is. This is going to be a buyer. What is their names? James. What's his last name? Brown. What's his email? jamesbrown@gmail.com. Okay. And then we're going to hit save. So we see James Brown here as a buyer. Then we're going to hit next. This is going to be your forms. When we're sending your offer letter to your to the listing agent, so the two main forms that we need is your agency disclosure and your offer letter, which is your sales agreement binder. So we're going to click on this and that to fill out later on, but the forms are already there. So click next. Documents is anything that they provide to you, their offer letter, the proof of funds, anything your client gives you, you want to add it to the system, you can do that just by clicking on add and then just browse. There's no forms to be signed or anything like that. This is simply what they're giving you. And then click done. Once you're in your transaction dashboard here, you can see your details, you can see the forms, you can see the documents, and you can see authentic sign. I just want to make sure one thing is clear for the signature part here. Some of you guys start doing the forms and then it shows you classic. Always make sure that your authentic sign shows new. So this way it will show you the forms, it will show you the status, if the forms has been signed or not. So always click on new. Okay. So now you want to, on the right side here, this is your most important panel here. And the most important panel is going to be your contacts, who's signing, and your forms, which forms we are sending for e-signatures. And once you send those, you want to check the statuses, you want to click on signing here. Okay. So under contacts, I already have James Brown. Under the forms here, I'm going to click on agency disclosure first. and I see the form here. The form is already filled halfway because of MLS. James is a buyer and I'm a buyer's agent. What is their name here again? James Brown, and they're the buyer. I Since I've already filled out everything I needed, now I'm ready to send for e-signature. You're simply going to click on this pen right here. Okay, once you click on it, it will take sometime, it takes a minute or two, and you will see that here. Okay, sometimes when it's spinning and it takes a minute, don't hit back, don't hit refresh, just let us do his thing. It should take no more than 2 minutes. Okay, so now you want James to sign here. It could be on this line, doesn't matter. We want him to sign right here. On the right side here, it says add participants. If you don't see this, if you see something like this, you're going to click on signers. And it says add participant, add yourself, add new, add from transaction, add from contacts. We already added James to this transaction, so we're going to click on add from transaction. Where's James? James is right here. And we're going to click on select. The signatures is already here. You can move it around, bring it up or bring it lower. Once you have done that, you're simply going to click on next. It says finalize signing setup. There's nothing to change here. Click on send. Okay. As soon as you hit send, now you're under signing sheet here or section here. So the same one we were under forms. Since we already sent it for e-signatures, click on signing, and you can see that this form is already sent. It's not yet completed because it's showing that 0 out of 1 completed. And if you scroll over show participant, you can see it says James B. Once this is already signed, he opens the email and signs it. You're going to get a notify that this person signed it, and you're going to click on this form again. On the top right here section, it will say view PDF file. You simply click on it and download that file. Okay, as simple as that. As long as you have signed it, you're going to go back to signing. See, it says signed. Click on it, download the PDF file. Okay, and now let's do the offer sheet. We're going to click on forms. I'm going to click on sales agreement. Okay, I'm going to date it. And you guys tell me how fast this is or how slow this is. And let's say I'm putting in an offer for 123 Main Street. And the person said I'm buying a house for 600,000. I'm putting versus number 2, good faith deposit, put 0. And then the money he's going to be putting earnest deposit on the formal contract, let's say $20,000. Let's say he's going to get $400,000. What are we left with? 600,000 minus 20,000 minus 400,000, 180. And then you're going to add 180, 20, that's 200,000, then 400,000. So you have 600,000 again. So the top number, oh, no, you see, the top number and the bottom number should match. If you have 6 million on the bottom here and 600,000 there, big difference. Okay, so you want to add 600,000 here. Make sure your top number and the bottom number matches. Always leave your good faith deposit 0, but down payment payable on formal contract. This is going to be your earnest deposit, 20,000. How much their mortgage is going to be, 400,000. And what he's going to bring remaining at the closing, 180,000. Okay. So that's your offer sheet. Then you is asking you how much the finance is going to be, right? The mortgage. You already have it up here that is going to be 400,000, so you put 400,000. For years, always put 30 years, okay? Everything else can stay blank unless you know what you're typing in. Let's say personal property, you want to add or exclude something, you want to put in here. Or when you're sending an email with the deal sheet to your attorney or to your buyer's attorney, you can put in all the details there as well. The most important part right here is putting in your client's name, the property address that you're putting the offer for, and the terms and conditions, which is going to be your offer sheet. Okay, the offer itself. On the second page here, you everything else is filled up. If you have your, their attorney's information, great, put it in. Some of you guys do not have this at this stage, it's perfectly fine. We're simply putting in an offer. As soon as our offer is accepted, then we'll ask them to send us, get the buyer's attorney's information. So now everything is filled up. And now I just want James to sign right here. So I'm going to click on this pen. Okay, like I said, we're going to give it up to 2 minutes for this page. Okay, you see the form here now. Everything is filled as we discussed, and now we want to have him sign right here. So if you don't see this signer part again, you're going to click on signers. You're going to click on add participant, add from transaction, James Brown, select. Okay, you selected them, but the system doesn't know where he needs to sign. So you're going to click on tools. You already selected James, and you're going to click on sign here. Click on it one time, and this field will come middle of the page. You're going to drag that on the bottom. You get the date here, you're going to move that too. Okay, once you dragged it, we're ready to send for him to e-sign. We're going to click on next and finalize and send. All right, and now we're under signing, we're under new, and we can see both of these forms are sent for him to e-sign. Okay, keeping it simple as that. You're going to go back to the forms, you can do that. You're going to go add his wife now, click on contacts and add that person there. Okay, again, this is part of the meeting now. It was part of the recorded meeting, so you guys can go over this again when you guys need to. Okay, all right, guys. So as we mentioned, so we have 5 more minutes, so I'm going to continue with this presentation here. Okay, so as we mentioned, all our agents, we went through, the commission, the new commissions. You guys will not have to worry about any changes for yourself. I want you to schedule a meeting with me, so we want to make sure that you guys are signing the new agreement that would have your old commission structure that does not expire. Okay, so again, we're doing everything, so we're putting ourselves in your shoes, that we want to make sure that nothing changes for yourself when it comes to commission. Okay, we just appreciate the fact that you have supported us over the years, and we want to support you. Okay, we are gonna be moving from dot loop to transaction desk. It could be probably end of this month or next, but just be aware that you guys have a full system as a part of your MLS. We just want to use it as we just mentioned here. And we want you to be doing showings all the time, guys. If you're not showing, you're not going to be closing, right? And look at this business activity of realtors. Are you really putting in 30 hours a week as a realtor? If you're not putting in 30 hours, right, you're not a realtor full time, and you're not or cannot really help out your clients, right? If you're doing 5 hours right now, increase it. Spend more time. Just like you're spending an hour now, this counts as 1 hour of learning for real estate. We went over so many different things, and hopefully you caught some of them, right? The goal here is to spend more time as a realtor, be involved, and you can make a good amount of living out of this, but you have to put in a lot of hours, right? All your clients, as we mentioned, they are not loyal when it comes to buyers agents and everything like that, but you have to put in your value. You got to show them that you're worth something by putting in a lot of hours. You want to, give them new listings. You want to show them new listings. So just stay on top of your game, guys. Okay, if your phone is ringing, pick up your calls, right? If it's an unknown number, you're a realtor, still pick it up, ask them what they need, right? If you missed a call them back. Reply to your text messages on time. Don't wait a couple of days to reply. People are expecting a text message to respond it fairly quickly. Same thing for your emails. If you have to need to reply in your timely manner, so your client or the other agents are not waiting on you. Okay, especially if you're the listing agent. Okay. And just know, as on our mortgage side, we have a home ready program where we can help your clients get even down for conventional loan as low as 3%. down payment. Just have them come talk to our loan officers. We have 14 loan officers now. Fairly new ones were Amanjot. She joined us recently, along with her Harish. He joined us recently as well. So we have 14 different loan officers. So they're trying to, increase their book of business as well. So they'll be connecting with you guys. So, stay connected with them, ask them different questions, different programs that we have, and, let's all make some money out of this business. Okay. Tomorrow's meeting will be at 10 o'clock. Again, we're going to be going through for next couple of weeks just a transaction desk. I just want to make sure everybody's on board with that. So that will be tomorrow's meeting. I hope you guys can join. And the last is your MLS invoices, right? $551. Please pay by September 29th. There's plenty of agents that have not paid yet. Some of you guys have issues by, logging in and all that. Just call them. The number is on the invoice. It's on top of the invoice. Here's a number: 631-661-4800. Tell them, hey, this is my name, this is my MLS ID, and I want to make my $551 payment. So please do that. If you need to join a team, we have Team Purple, Team Gold, and Team Blue as a helping hand. These guys can really help you guys succeed in business, give you leads and everything. So please connect with them as well. Okay. Any questions, concerns, guys, before we get going? Time's up. All right, guys. I know there was a lot going on. I will share everything with you guys.